Once again, I welcome you all to our online classes. Students, in the previous lecture, we have studied the part 2 of a brief history of Indian writing in English. If you could remember, I was talking about the trio, that is three big brothers, Harendranath Chattopadhyay, Sri Aurobindo Ghosh and Rabindranath Tagore. So these are the three, those who have created a different image of Indian writing in English. In my previous session, I discussed in detail about Rabindranath Tagore, so I am not going to repeat it, and now I will switch over to the another author among the three, that is Sri Aurobindo. The lifespan is 1872 to 1950, that is 50. Actually, Sri Aurobindo is one of the major Indian English playwrights. He has written 5 different complete plays, but there are a few which are incomplete poetic plays also. So 5 plus 6, 11. So he tried to write all these 11 plays during 1891 to 1996. But in the span of time, he could complete only 5 plays, whereas 6 plays remained incomplete till date. So when it comes to his writing techniques, writing context and all, you will realize that he has provided a variety in his writings as such. When it comes to the locations, themes, characters and so on, you will find this variety in his writings. We can say the variety of periods ranging from ancient Greece to the medieval India we could find in his writings. Similarly, he happens to mention the places like Iraq, Iran, India, Syria, Britain, Spain, Norway and so on. And this is how is the focus of his plays. Mainly, his plays revolve around poetry and romances. I would like to mention the 5 complete plays written by Sri Aurobindo. The plays are The Wazirs of Basora, Perseus the Deliverer, The Prize of Edur, Eric Savitri and Vavaduta. So these are the 5 plays which are written by Sri Aurobindo. But now let us look at this slide. You will come to know some of the silent features of the writings of Sri Aurobindo. Actually, Sri Aurobindo used the ancient legends to highlight the contemporary urge of freedom. That is one very important thread of his writing. Secondly, he highlighted the elements of heroism, mystery and adventure in the actions of characters portrayed by him in all the works of art that he created. But one more feature I have recognized in the course of reading, that is, he has a strong romantic impulse, and that is the actual driving force of his plays. His ability and skill to write his dialogues in colloquial language, in colloquial English, is also one of the important features of his writing. In fact, he never confined himself only to one particular country or location or theme. And that's why we could see a lot of variety in the writings of Sri Aurobindo. Now, we will talk about the another trio, that is Harindranath Chattopadhyay. Harindranath Chattopadhyay is one of the great Indian playwrights, I would say. He added a new dimension to English, more particularly Indian English drama. If at all you see the influences upon him, you will realize that the progressive writers movement has greatly influenced his mind, and of course that is also reflected in his writings also. He sympathizes with the underdogs, just like Mulk Raj Anand doing in his novels. His plays are mainly related to social issues. He has highlighted the social protest and the ideas related to revolution. Now, I will switch over to the 4 categories of the writings of Chattopadhyay. Let us look at this slide. It is one of the very important slides, I would say, because whenever we go through the writing creed of Chattopadhyay, we find that his writings can be divided into 4 categories. 1. The social dramas, devotional dramas, historical dramas, and miscellaneous dramas. His collection of social plays is mainly confined to the 5 plays. That collection was published in 1935. The 5 plays are The Windows, The Parrots, The Sentry Lantern, The Coffin, and The Evening Lamps. As I said, whenever we try to categorize the writings of Chattopadhyay, we have these 4 categories: social, devotional, historical, and miscellaneous. So these 5 plays can be segregated into these 5 heads. So these plays actually have a didactic purpose, and they are marked by realism. So this is one more very important feature of the writings of Chattopadhyay. Now, students, I will switch over to the very important discussion on Indian English drama, that is the contemporary Indian English drama. So first of all, just minutely look at this slide. You will realize that the dramatic and the theatrical text do not follow the instructions of the ancient Sanskrit drama, but still the genre of drama belongs to India. If you remember in the previous session, when I was talking about the history of Indian English drama, I told you that Indian English drama has a kind of heritage which is deeply rooted to Sanskrit literature or Sanskrit dramas as such. But when you try to compare and contrast, the contemporary Indian English drama is not having any influence of Sanskrit drama and Sanskrit literature in the dramatic point of view, theatrical point of view, contextual point of view, thematic point of view. The drama has gone through a lot of change, and this hybrid and unique identity is carried by this genre of Indian English literature. English drama gradually developed on the hybridity lines to this present form of Indian English drama, which has taken its identity along with the cultural identity of the society to which it belongs. So this is how we need to really take this aspect into consideration. Whenever we talk about the contemporary Indian English drama, we need to present the issues related to the urban middle class society. I mean to say, the contemporary Indian English drama mainly deals with the issues, problems and solutions related to the urban middle class society. Mainly the English speaking society which is now undergoing a noticeable cultural change. There are several issues like homosexuality, marital infidelity, which are the very common subjects of the contemporary Indian English dramatists. I would like to mention a few here. Probably you might have heard the name of Mahesh Dattani, who has written a play titled On a Muggy Night in Mumbai. So this play is related to homosexuality. Whereas Mahesh Dattani's another play, which is a romantic play actually, titled as Do the Needful. It talks about the present social scenario. One more author is there, Manjula Padmanabhan. You might have heard about this play, The Harvest. So, Harvest is a play by Padmanabhan that is concerned with the organ selling market in India. So, if you see these authors, you will realize that handling of the themes by previous authors is concerned. Here in the 21st century, contemporary issues are being handled by the authors. So that is the change in the thematic point of view. So socio-cultural scenario of India was totally affected to a great extent by the colonial rules in India, and that reflection can also be seen in the writings of these authors. So I would like to mention a few more authors here. Then only it will be a comprehensive approach to look at contemporary English drama. So here you have another author named Jeev Patel, who has written a beautiful play titled as The Princess. Actually, The Princess is the story of two Parsi Gujarati families. Similarly, you have Pratap Sharma, who has written a few plays. Just three of them I mentioned here: A Touch of Brightness, The Profession, and War Cry. So these are the three plays written by Pratap Sharma. He is also one of the contemporary authors writing in English, basically from Indian soil. Now, one more prominent author of the contemporary period we have, that is Girish Karnad. Girish Karnad has written Tughlaq, Yayati and Hayavadana. These are the three plays in which author has adopted a very modern outlook. He has deployed conventions and motifs of folk art like mask and curtains. His thematic treatment is historical, mythical and legendary. So his treatment to writing Tughlaq, Yayati and Hayavadana gives us a modern sense, and that is how this change can be noticed from the beginning of the Sanskrit plays in the ancient period, and then we could see certain development when the trio started contributing to the world of Indian English literature, and now we could notice a remarkable change in the 21st century or the contemporary English drama written by the Indians. Now we have a few more points for further discussion in this respect. If you see, traditional Indian drama which was inherently having hierarchy and was further changed into the master and servant paradigm of colonial rule. I mean to say, the typical Indian tendency during the colonial rule can also be noticed in the writings of some of the authors. But this resulted in the new personality types identified by the clusters of characteristic traits, for example, submissiveness, psyche, fancy, dependence, and the lack of self-confidence. And these are the aspects, these are the characteristic traits that we have identified in the writings during the colonial period. But the post-independent India and the post-colonial writings in India has provided a different test. Therefore, in post-independent India, a person is caught in complicated situation that is a result of the mixture of traditional Indian culture and the culture of the British people. So this shift can be minutely observed in the writings of the Indian authors writing in English. Now here you have the plays written in the post-colonial India, and there are a few characteristics of this particular phase of writing, and that also I would like to discuss in this class. Let us look at the first point. The plot and construction of the text of drama follows modern Western drama and not the ancient Indian drama. So once again I repeat, already I told you that the Indian drama has its roots in the Sanskrit drama, but the post-colonial Indian writers have not actually adhered to the ancient Indian drama. On the other hand, the plot construction of the text of modern drama was mainly followed from the modern Western English drama. So this shift also can be noticed over here minutely. Similarly, you have the characters who are the representatives of the society to which these plays are meant for. So this context also you can observe over there. They are the ordinary middle class urban Indian people. If you see the post-colonial literature written in India, that mainly highlights the life of the ordinary middle class urban Indian people. And of course, the characters which are portrayed by the respective authors, they are trying to make the characters as the representatives of their own society. So their body language, their emotions, their expressions in terms of values, ideas and ideals are shown by the cultural changes which are taking place in the course of time. So this aspect is also one of the very important aspects, I would say. So let us switch over now. There is another important development as such. That is, the stage setting of Indian English drama is now going through a radical change and development. This can be also observed because the technological advances have greatly affected the stage setting. It is not like the medieval period or the ancient period that the stage setting and equipments were available in a different form and that they have their own limitations. But now we are living in the modern world, and this world is technologically advanced in the course of time, and of course that has also affected the stage setting of the modern Indian English drama. Other than lighting techniques, stylish setting and other developments can also be observed over there on the stage. Typical urban middle class and their homes on the stage would focus on the influence of the Western culture in housekeeping. So if you see the previous century dramas, the setup, the background, the location, the house and all, they were typically traditional, I would say. But the modern Indian dramatists writing in English, they have also adopted a modern outlook to provide a different kind of setting over there, and that is how this development can be seen by the spectators like us, the audience like us. And therefore, the changes that took place in Indian society have shaped the present form of Indian English drama. More particularly, the changes which does not have any similarity with the predecessors. So here we can have a compare and contrast method. So just go back to the history, try to turn the pages of history and see how the drama or how the plays were written by the authors writing in the 18th century, 19th century and all. Now you come down to the second phase, when the trio, especially Rabindranath Tagore and others, started writing or started contributing to the field of literature, especially the beginning of the 20th century, I would say. You will find that there was a little bit of change in the approach of the authors. And when now after 100 years, since Rabindranath Tagore contributed, after 100 years or so, if you compare now, the field of drama, the realm of drama can be noticed as it has gone through a radical change. And this is the contemporary Indian English drama, especially in the post-colonial period, in which we have seen the contextual change, the textual change, and more prominently, the authors are trying to present the cultural identity. And while presenting the cultural identity, cultural differences, cultural conflict, and cultural issues are also highlighted. It also happened in the case of other countries and more particularly British drama or American drama as well. But presently we are mainly talking about Indian English drama, so you will realize that how the British culture is different than the Indian culture. And when we talk about Indian culture within its own limits, we realize that within the country itself, we have different cultures living together. Sometimes you might have heard the statement like unity in diversity. So India is a country of multiple languages. It is a country of multiple cultures. Still we live together and we are gelled together in such a way as if we are the one at the international front. So this aspect is one of the very important aspects what I personally feel. So this genre of literature follows the modern Western culture and it makes the significant change in the Indian English drama. And these changes in society can be seen in the works of arts written by different authors from this soil. So the post-colonial literature, more particularly the post-colonial Indian writing in English with special reference to English drama, you will find that this cultural awareness is one of the very strong theme which is deployed by the different authors. Because a number of people, number of dramatists visited foreign countries. Some of them settled down over there. They felt homesick, and that cultural identity came up, and probably this is the reason that several experiments can be seen in Indian writing in English with special reference to Indian English drama. So this is the detailed discussion as far as Indian English literature is concerned, that is Indian writing in English is concerned, with a special reference to English drama. And that's all from my end as far as part 3 of a brief introduction to Indian writing in English, and this lecture was confined to the Indian English drama and dramatists.